Hello. Today we're going to talk about the cancer, heart attack, and stroke benefit and our questionnaires. First thing I'd like to do is kind of just go over the two carriers that we choose to use the most and have found really the best results is Guaranteed Trust Life, GTL, the cancer, heart attack, stroke protection plus, and Cigna. Cigna's cancer and heart attack and stroke, but they also have a specified disease option. We'll talk about that real quick. You can find really great webinar trainings from the carriers if you go directly to the carriers, and those will be a little bit more detailed about the product. But today is just to give you a very brief overview of the two, just some little things that you need to know, and then really how we present it. When you're looking at Cigna, the first thing you want to know is we're talking about the cancer insurance, the heart attack and stroke insurance, and the specified disease. So all three of these can be sold separately, or they can be combined all into one plan. What's most important to know about Cigna is it is ages 18 to 80. And the real reason you're going to sell this when you're talking to clients is a lot of them are going to tell you they have a Medicare supplement, but if they have a Medicare Advantage, this can help with the copays, deductibles. When you go on to cancer, you're taking a number of different drugs. They can use this for their prescription drugs as well, as well as any type of co-insurances, but experimental treatment also and therapy is not covered under Medicare, MedSup, or Med Advantage. So this is a program that when you're talking to seniors, you're going to say, hey, this is a benefit because this can help cover a lot of the copays, the prescriptions that aren't covered, as well as any experimental treatment. And again, the other thing is this is great for underage people. When you're looking at Obamacare and a lot of the healthcare there, they do actually have a lot of deductibles and copays that need to be met first, as well as maybe their salary if they're still working, even with seniors. You want to find out if they're still working to help pay their bills. So this policy is something that pays a lump sum, and the money can be used however they wish. But again, something to remember is it's ages 18 to 80 with Cigna. Now, we'll briefly talk about the cancer. The real reason we like Cigna, they're one of the few carriers left out there that actually have a benefit that starts at a minimum of $5,000. The reason that's important is it's kind of that wow factor. The reason I'm saying that is when you're looking at a cancer plan and you're talking to someone, you want to kind of shock them at how cheap it is. For instance, a 65-year-old with $5,000 detection of cancer is only $17 a month. Very affordable, and it kind of catches them off guard because they're expecting a large premium, but you're wanting to get them interested, and you can always kind of upsell. The benefit of a cancer plan is if it's invasive, so kind of an internal cancer, it's covered at 100%. If it's non-invasive, mostly your skin cancers, it's covered at 25%. The other thing that's nice is it does have a reoccurrence benefit, and this is something you really want to pay attention to. With Cigna, what happens is, let's say, for instance, they have a $10,000 policy. If they've been detected with cancer, they will get a check for $10,000. Once their last treatment and they're cancer-free, after 24 months, between 2 years and 5 years, if they were to get cancer again, then 25% would be paid back out. So, for instance, on $10,000, they'll get a $2,500 reoccurrence benefit if it happened again. If they went 5 years to 10 years, and then all of a sudden they get cancer again, it's 75% of the face amount. Or if they were cancer-free for 10 years in between, they get cancer, it's just like the policy renewed all over again for another 100%. Again, this is a big difference between many other carriers, so this is something you want to pay attention. When I get to GTL, I'll kind of explain that to you. When you're talking about the heart attack and stroke, you want to pay attention also because you're looking at on this chart, heart attack, heart transplant, stroke, but a lot of times you also want to make sure your clients are aware that if it's a bypass surgery or aortic surgery or angioplasty, it's going to be paid at a lesser amount. So that's just something you want to pay attention when you're talking to seniors. I found that a lot of times they'll make a comment, if I have angioplasty, does that mean I'm going to get $5,000? So just let them know because that's kind of an outpatient or quick surgery. No, it's going to be a little bit less amount. When you're looking at the specified disease rider, this is the difference again between GTL and Cigna. GTL doesn't have this rider, Cigna does. So this is something, you guys, it's always worth putting on there. And let me kind of give you an example. For the heart attack and stroke by itself for $5,000 was $20.75. If you get the cancer, heart attack, and stroke For a 65-year-old, it's $37.75. What's kind of neat, though, is you can add this specified disease rider, which is covering coma and major organ transplant, MS, ALS, things like that. And to add it is only $1.70 more. So it's one of those that you might as well add it because it's so cheap. And again, that's for a 65-year-old for $5,000. Now we're going to go to the application real quick. And when you're looking at them, there's two plans I want you to know. When you're looking at Cigna, there is a critical and a flex cancer protection. We're showing you today the critical. We don't use the flex choice. We use the critical choice. When you're doing that, make sure you're looking at the critical choice, cancer, heart attack, and stroke. And probably the most important thing is most of this app, it's very simple. So it doesn't matter what phone number you're going to get. But when you're talking about medical, we highlighted right there, if they have ever been told they have cancer, heart attack, and stroke, they are not eligible for the product. Now let's go on to GTL. When you're looking at GTL, again, it's the Cancer, Heart Attack, and Stroke Protection Plus. Same thing, you guys, when you're talking about it. It's if they lose their supplemental income, but again, pay for experimental treatments, pay for copays, pay deductibles, allow time off if they are working. So this is something that's extremely important when you're talking to them, just to let them know that they most likely already have care, because a lot of them are going to say, well, I already have a Medicare supplement. That picks up everything. It does, senior. You're right, Mr. Jones, but here's the problem. You're going to go on a lot of medicines, experimental treatment. Matter of fact, my mom, for instance, I had sold her the policy, and she was diagnosed with cancer. She used a portion of the money to have someone come in and redo the bathroom and made it a handicap accessible bathroom, not knowing what she was going to go through. You want to kind of use this and let them know it covers multiple things. This is paid out to the client, not to the insurance company. Again, the most important thing to realize right here, this is ages 0 to 85. If you remember, Cigna was 18 to 80. So that is a big difference there. Again, it's individual, single parent, couple, even family. So make sure you're checking prices. A lot of times we're using individual prices, but if you meet, there is a discount for couple and there's a discount for family. Again, the most important difference between Cigna, GTL, is their minimum is $10,000. It's going to be a little bit more money up front, so you got to kind of pay attention to the two. They do have a reoccurrence benefit, and this is why I was saying when you're looking at the two, if they were to have a reoccurrence after only 1 year, they're at least going to get 10%. Years 2 and 3 is 25%. Years 4 is 50%, and years 5 plus is 100%. So remember, if you're kind of going back to Cigna, Cigna, it was literally you had to be cancer-free for 2 years, and it was 2 to 5 years you only got 25%. Then it was 5 to 10 years for 75%. So when you're looking at GTL, they really have one of the better reoccurrence products out there. Now, they don't have the specified disease. They have something different. They have a therapy and wellness rider. This, again, is something very much worth adding. When you're looking at the cancer by itself for GTL, again, it's $10,000, so the premium is $30.69. So again, when you're talking to a client, there's some difference in the benefits, but again, Cigna for $5,000 is $17. GTL is $30. Now, of course, it's $10,000, but again, they don't go to the $5,000. So sometimes when you're talking $30 and you're trying to add it to a final expense or a Med Advance, $30 is a bit much, but to add a $17 cancer plan, very affordable. The heart attack and stroke with GTL is very strong. For $10,000, it's $24.77. When you're comparing Cigna versus that, that's really where they take off, because Cigna's $5,000 is $20 a month. GTL is $24 for $10,000. You almost get double the coverage. So that's something to be aware of. When you add, though, the cancer, heart attack, and stroke with GTL, you're at $48.79. And this is kind of where I was telling you guys. Cigna $5,000 cancer, heart attack, and stroke is only $37 and change. GTL, cancer, heart attack, and stroke is $48.79. Yes, you're getting $10,000 coverage for only $11 more. The problem is you may have lost a client when you save $48. You're at $50 a month. Sometimes that's a big step when you're adding this as an additional benefit. Meaning, when you're going to go out there and sell a final expense life insurance policy, add the cancer on there. Add the cancer, heart attack, and stroke, and they get quite a lot of benefits for the value. Now, to talk about the Wellness Rider, we added this on a 65-year-old. It's only $2.75 a month more, roughly $28 a year. But the difference is when they go in, if they have a mammogram or a pap smear or angio or chest x-ray, colonoscopy, any of that, there's a benefit they're going to get that's $50 per calendar year for the following. So you want to look at this because some of the benefits are they're getting, even if they go in for a wellness visit and things, there are some additional. So do some research on the Wellness Rider. It does include some additional benefits that pay out $25, $50, and $75. We didn't list those because I just wanted to show the basic that by adding just the Wellness Rider alone, your client's going to get a mammogram or chest x-ray, every year for just checking on themselves. That's worth it. It's paid for itself alone. When you're looking at the application, here's again something different. GTL charges a $20 annual policy fee. So again, that's going to raise the price of the product, where Cigna doesn't have that policy fee. So, you're automatically increasing roughly $1.75 a month solely just going towards a policy fee. The other thing you want to check on this, and here's the difference with GTL, is they have a 5-year look back. Remember, Cigna said if you've ever had cancer, heart attack, and stroke, you're auto decline. GTL, as long as it's been more than 5 years, they will consider you. So it's something very important to remember. We tend to use Cigna as our first line of defense because it's the $5,000 minimum. And you can get in there pretty quickly, to get them excited and then upgrade from there if you have to. But if you're just straight going cancer, heart attack, and stroke, always show clients both if you want to give them the option to choose between the two. The next thing is what you want to do is you always want to, when you're comparing, before we get into the app pack, is go onto your carrier's website and you're going to actually be able to download their quote engines. I know GTL offhand is GTLIC.com, and you can download the CHS cancer, heart attack, stroke quoting engine right to your desktop. Cigna is a online that you have to go online and download. But what's also nice about both of these is you can write a client from either one of them and do an online application and submit it. So now what I'd like to do is basically briefly kind of show you how to sell this product using one of our pages from what's called our app pack. After you've actually met with the client, you went through a healthcare planning document, they've stated they're interested in the lump sum cancer, and you went through it. What you want to do is when you transition, pull out this sheet and you say, okay, well, what we're going to do is you had mentioned that you're interested in, hearing about the cancer, heart attack, and stroke. And guys, before you ever go into this, the most important thing is these prices should be filled out before you ever go see a client. So when you are on the phone booking the appointment, you want to get the client's name, how old are you, or get their birthday. Or do you live with someone? Do you have a spouse? Get the spouse's birthday. This way, before you ever go out to the client's house, you basically already have this sheet filled on for the price, and that's what you want. It makes for a fast transaction. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out. I go through the whole entire healthcare planning document. They have mentioned that they're interested in cancer, heart attack, and stroke. And just a brief conversation, they said that, yes, it ran in the family. What I'm going to do next is, as soon as I'm done, I will say, okay, well, let me pull out this cancer, heart attack, and stroke questionnaire. Let me go through this with you. Now, before I do, Mr. and Mr. Jones, let me give you a brief overview. As you can see down at the bottom, Mr. Jones, the cancer protection for a $5,000 lump sum. So, Mr. Jones, if you're diagnosed with cancer, they're going to give you a check for $5,000 to do whatever you want. That is going to be $17 a month. The heart attack and stroke protection, sir, again, is $5,000. And again, if you get heart attack or stroke, they're going to pay you a $5,000 lump sum. Again, to use with your deductibles and copays or help other bills. That's actually going to be $20.75 a month. And the other one, sir, is your cancer, heart attack, or stroke. It's a combination. Doesn't matter which illness you get. And again, that's $5,000. And the cancer, heart attack, and stroke is $37.75. Let me ask you, Mr. Jones, does that sound like something you might want to learn a little bit more about? This is where everyone is either going to say, yes, I'd like to know more, or you already got them on the price and they say, well, I'm not really interested. Can you leave that to me and I'll do it? One thing that's nice is when you leave this to them, if you look at the top, there's questions. They can read them themselves when they're gone. It will sell the product for you, and then they may call you back. But if they were to say, sure, I'd like to know a little bit more, now you're into a sales presentation. And what you do is you go up to the very top, right underneath the bold heading, you're going to read the sentence, and it's going to say, Mr. or Mr. Jones, is this something you'd want to learn more about? Yes. Great. Well, Mr. Jones, the following questions are only asked to allow me to make the best educated recommendation. Mr. Jones, does cancer, heart attack, or stroke run in your family? Any answer you get, you guys, you want to just touch a little bit more. So if they say like me, I would say yes. Who is that? Oh, my mother. Oh, well, tell me about it. Get them to tell you just a little bit about it. That's what this is about, to see what knowledge they have about it. Please describe which family member and how old they were. Well, that was my mom. She was 65 years old. She was diagnosed with leukemia. Which illness did they have, and how long did they recover? Well, she has leukemia, knock on wood. She's had it for 8 years, and she's had no therapy or nothing just yet. God has blessed us pretty well. Again, by knowing that, you're going to know a little bit better of what the client's been through instead of prejudging and saying, yeah, wouldn't this have helped out when she got chemo? Well, if she didn't get chemo, it doesn't make sense. So find out kind of what their story is. Have you had to help take care of a family member or friend with one of these illnesses? If so, describe. Actually, no, I've been pretty blessed. I haven't had to. How has it financially affected that family member? Well, I got to tell you, the copays were very helpful. We had to pay that out of our pocket. My mom did have a deductible at the time because she was on my father's insurance. And there was just some extra bills that came up. And man, if we would have had some money, that would have helped out. Were they hospitalized? If long, how long? My mom was not hospitalized, but she did have to go back for a lot of testing, a lot of research. So there was multiple blood work, multiple copays that we had to keep coming up. If you were to have one of the 3 listed illnesses, how would you pay for your copays and deductibles on your medical bills, doctor bills, specialists, and medications? Well, what I would do is probably I'd be in trouble. I'm working right now, and if I had to take off if I got sick, I don't think I have any extra money. I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would pay it. If the medicine was expensive and the copays and the treatment, I really don't know what I would do. And that's, again, guys, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for them to tell you what their problems would be so you can give them a solution. Okay? With your family history, are you concerned you may face one of these illnesses? Absolutely. My mom has cancer. My grandma had cancer. My grandma and grandpa's brothers had cancer. I know I'll get cancer. I'm just not sure when. My father, heart attack runs on his side, so I'm pretty sure I'll get one of these illnesses. 7 and 8 are really diving into what the client's concerns are. With Medicare and all Medicare plans not covering experimental treatments, how would you pay for them to better help your chance of recovery? I wouldn't have the money. Honestly, if they told me there was an experimental treatment and I was going to have a better chance, I have to ask the kids to borrow it, maybe cash in some of my 401k. I guess if I was, at the end, but I don't want to cash in all the money and leave my wife with nothing, so I don't know what I'd have to do. So you guys, again, that's where you kind of ask them, because they make jokes, but it's no laughing matter around there. So just help them work through that and talk about it. Even if they try to make a joke, oh, they can put me in the ground. Don't let them get away with it. Just say, I know, but let's just say, God forbid, it were to happen. Please explain. While recovering from one of these illnesses, how beneficial would it be in your recovery to have someone clean your home weekly, make meals for you, assist you with daily activities, have additional money to pay copays and deductible, and be able to alter your home entrances and bathrooms to accommodate you? Please describe. Well, honestly, it'd be incredible. Based on if my mom would have had this would have been great. I wish my mom would have had this. And, my fear is what happens if this happens to me? You're right. I didn't think about it, but having a little extra money, my Medicare supplement's going to pay all my bills. But, wow, maybe I should look into this. So this is helping you. And now here's a close. Now I have a better understanding of your family history. With these 3 major illnesses, let me make a recommendation that can provide you with peace of mind. What you've learned is you're asking the questions about their history with their family. You're asking if they feel that they're going to get it and how they would deal with it. That should help you when you sell on the benefits. So then you're going to say, again, Mr. Jones, When we take a look at the bottom down there, there's the $5,000 cancer, $17 a month. There's the $5,000 lump sum heart attack and stroke for $5,000 a month. Or there's the cancer, heart attack, and stroke with the specified disease benefit we can add. My question for you, Mr. Jones, is which program makes more sense for you? That's it, you guys. It's very simple. There's not really a lot of objections. They say they want to think about it or they can't afford it. It's let me think this over. Let me get back to you. Always ask, and here's how you understand it. So if they say I want to think about it, let me get back to you. Can you get me some information? Whatever they say, there's always only two objections you're going to say. Let me ask you, Mr. Jones, sure, I can do that for you. But first, what did you like best about this program? If you had to pick one thing, what would you pick that you like about the cancer, heart attack, and stroke protection plan? Okay? And what you may get is, well, I think it's a great plan, but $5,000 really isn't that much. So guess what, guys? You can let them know that you can increase. You're going to say, what do you like least? Well, I don't know. I don't like the pricing. There's not a lot to like and dislike. But again, when you're going through this, you're just going to say, there's the cancer, the heart attack, and stroke. It's $5,000. Certainly, you can increase it if you would like, but what makes more sense, for you? So you want to see which one they like. And then if they say, well, I think I'd go with the heart attack, stroke, and cancer. Now, would you want to start with the $5,000 or would you want to increase it now or do you want to increase it later? So again, it's a now and later close. So you're going to say which program makes more sense for you when they tell you you've made the sale. If they give you an objection, all you're going to say, what do you like best about the plan? What do you like least about the plan? That will tell you why they're buying it, why they're not buying it. Then when you do it and you say, they say, well, I like which one? The cancer, or I like the heart attack, I like the heart attack, stroke, and cancer. You then want to just sum it up last time as, great, Mr. Jones, you want the heart attack, stroke, and cancer. Or, great, Mr. Jones, so you just want to go with that cancer plan? Let me ask you, is $5,000 enough, or would you want to see how much $10,000 or $15,000 cost? It does go up in increments. And you guys, it's pretty simple. You can look in your quote sheets, but a lot of times, just start. If it's $17 for $5,000, it's probably $34 for $10,000. Hopefully this helped you out. Again, one other thing is if you have a client and they say, well, I'm not interested, or can you leave it with me? That's the benefit of you having this filled out already. You can leave it to them, but if you saw with me, guys, did you see how fast I pivoted through that? I didn't have to go through trying to find a quote engine and trying to flip through pages, even when I'm doing this training class. I had this done before I went there. So again, hopefully this helps you work on these. Look for more. Again, go to the carriers, go to GTL, go to Cigna, find the software to download so you can run the quotes very quickly. Again, these are online applications, so even on a rainy day or door knocking, don't be afraid to just call some of your leads and say, hi, how you doing? We're calling with cancer awareness, and there's a new cancer, heart attack, and stroke plan that's out there. Would you be interested? We're giving free quotes away. Personally, guys, I could probably take this questionnaire and walk for 4 to 5 hours today going door to door, put these on a clipboard, and just say, we're out in the area giving free quotes with a cancer protection, heart attack, and stroke protection, or cancer, heart attack, and stroke. And the reason I say that is about 2 out of every 3 people have cancer affecting them. Again, thank you for your time, and we hope this video helps out.